XP gang members here. Freedom is good, man. Freedom is good. On a rainy days, man. It's a good day to telling stories, you know. One thing I don't do a lot is to telling stories about prison because, man, to me, prison is one of the lonely places, one of the depressing places, one of the places that there's no hopes. That's what most prisoners think, man. That's why they don't change, you know. And that's why I don't talk about prison because what's going on in there, man, ain't nothing to brag or glorifying about, you know. There's stabbing, there's raping, there's homosexuality, there's drug, you know, getting high, getting drunk, gambling, gang banging. You know, it's the same thing that they do in the streets. That's why I don't talk about it. We have enough YouTubers on here talking about glorifying it, talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to talk about it, but I do want to talk about it because it's all for educational purposes. You know what I'm saying? That's all I want to talk about. The Fed, you know, the Fed is a little bit different. You know, the Fed is run by the BOP, which is the Bureau of Prison. You know, it's run by federal government. So federal government, they have a lot of money, right? Their money don't run out because they print money. So if you get caught up in the Fed, you know most of the time, 90, 98, 99%, you're going to do some times. So it's all depend on the, it's all depend on your case. And based on your crimes, then they will base on that, and that's how that's how they rank your securities based on your case, whether you're violent criminals or drugs offenders. So they're based on that, and will house you based on your security levels. And one thing I do learn is this: that they tend to separate you from most cases, not all. They tend to separate you from your locality. For an example, if you coming out of Atlanta, state of Georgia, they definitely don't want you to do your times in Atlanta, Georgia. They're sending you all the way to the Midwest, like somewhere in Kentucky or Texas or sometime California. If you that person that really have connection, you know, they don't want you to keep that communication line open. So that's one thing I do learn. They're gonna break you down. They're gonna send you like 500 miles, 1,000 miles from your families and break you down. See, it's all psychologically, man. And when I first get my sentences, man, the DA recommended I do my times in Atlanta Pen. You know what I'm saying? And I do a little research on Atlanta Pen. You know, when I got my sentences, you know, I said, dang, I got 120 months. But, you know, once I shipped out to Atlanta Pen, for some reason, I was over there at the holdover pen. So I thought I'm going to go to Atlanta Pen. But then I stayed there for a minute. And then, you know, over there in Atlanta Pen, you get to meet everybody. Because that's the holdover where on the southeastern region where you get to meet all kind of prisoners, man. They're coming from all over the country, from California, from New York, Oklahoma, Texas, everywhere, man. Everybody got to go through there if they get transferred to New York, to Midwest. So everybody's coming through there. So you get to meet a lot of people. So I'm Asian, you know. I seen blacks, I seen Hispanics, I seen whites, I seen Asian. You know, for an example, I'm from Atlanta, so even though I'm Asian, you know what I'm saying? I ran into some blacks, but you know I got 019. So when they look at my prisoner numbers, the last three numbers, they know I'm from Atlanta. in one of the metro county. So they'll ask me where I'm from. I say, yeah, I'm from here, right here, off of Memorial Drive. This is where I went to school at, Clawson High School. Like, yeah, I know where's that. So that's how we connected. It don't matter what color of our skin, man. We're connected in the circumstances that we are in. And at that time, you don't really know that person is bad or good. That's the first connection. You don't really judge the person through that yet. You just judge them by, his locality, And after that, you get to know that person by communicating, right? If you choose to. If you're not, then you move on. You know what I'm saying? It's all based on your intuition, If you have low intuition, you can make friends with everybody. And that's how folks get in trouble, because he can be friends with everybody and he don't know what everybody do. You know what I'm saying? And that's a bad move, right? In prison. You got to always be aware of who you come in contact with. But yeah, man, and then I run across some Asian from New York, from some Foot King gang member, he went to cell with me. He got 30 years from New York, came from Fuchan, and then he got 30 years. He picked up some of the jobs that the American-born Chinese gang wouldn't want to do, because they know that shit carried too much times. He got kidnapped and ransomed for 30 years, and some of the homies got life, and we talk. He's barely speaking English, and we talk about gangs in New York, and to be honest with you, the people that think they know everything, they don't know everything until they got into the Fed. The Fed is a whole new ball games, something different, something that you can't play with, But man, you cannot play with the Fed. But just so you know that the Fed run the prison system just like how they run a business, man. Because some of these. So, but I'm going to get back to that. Talking about the Fed run the system, how they run a business, because so they change up my security levels, and send me to a medium high instead of a max. So I got shipped to Manchester, Kentucky. And when I first stepped in Manchester, Kentucky, man, it's a different whole. It's a whole new environment, man. It's different because it's in the Midwest, so it's different than in the Southeastern, man. You see different Hispanic, like the one come from Texas, the one from New Mexico, and stuff like that. And then you also see a lot of brothers from Atlanta was over there too. So we see, even though we see different ethnic groups, but they're still segregate among themselves. Because I guess we in the environment where we can't trust everybody. So each and every one individuals, they have to find someone that they can trust, so they can hang out with. And the only ways that they can do that is by looking at the prisoner numbers, the locality. Like I'm 019. If I saw 019 from Atlanta, we have some connection, what I'm saying, like that. And if Savannah dude saw another Savannah dudes, they hang out together, what I'm saying? So that's how it breaks down in the Fed, man. And then, once you're inside the Fed, right? The Fed, the system is meant to break the hardcore prisoner down. Don't matter who you are, what you do, what your criminal activity were in the past. They're going to break you down two ways. Isolating you, or make sure you comfortably live where you live, getting everything you need and want, so you can get used to that. Once you get used to that, you can't do your time without it. You know what I'm saying? So if you messed up, you're going to lose all your privileges. That's all mental, man. You see? So the Fed is making the prisoner real comfortable, you know? And most of us, all of us, we get some pay wages to work, you know? I saw the dude that got the lowest pay wages with $35 a month, you know? The highest I ever seen dude that work in Unicorn, this is like a manufacturer inside the Fed, make $500 to $700 with overtimes, man, a month. You know? So that's how it is run in the Fed. You know, you go there, you either do your time peacefully, or if you're gang members and you want to involve with gangs, you still can. You still can. You know, it's your life. You choose whatever you want to. You choose whatever you want to do. You know, and most of the prisoners, that's what they want. And because a lot of them have a lot of time, so they feel like, hey man, I'm gonna do 30 years. I ain't got time for school. You know, I ain't got time to rehabilitate myself. You know, I ain't got time to read a book. But even though they have a lot of times, so you see this mindset already established. Their mindset already established, man. Once they step inside of the federal system, man, you know, they already decide what they want to do and what they don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? So they chose not to change, and they're not going to change. They're going to spend 10 years smoke back the mouth, gang banging, drinking hooch, listen to rap music videos, and working out. That's it. They waste their entire lives, man, just doing those things. People like myself, you know, also, you see people like myself too. You know, we messed up in the streets. But then we woke. We awoke. Once we step inside the Fed, we ask ourselves a question, why? What happened? Man, I got a decade to do. Do you really want to be back here again? Because you see all the little things inside the federal system, like the manufacturing. We get paid 10 cents an hour working in the manufacture factories. You know what I'm saying? We see the Fed got all the money, paying everybody. You know, people can invest in the prison system. You know what I'm saying? So we start going to the laws library and listen to the old head. You know, teach us about the laws, federal laws, man. So we learn that every single day. And then we see what's going on. We see that the only way we can improve ourselves is first, we have to change ourselves. We have to not glorify the prison stuff. We have to stop glorifying this gang stuff. Because look, all of us in here, like damn pigs and dogs got caged up. But the people, but people in the free world that glorify about gang, talking about how tough they are and stuff, man, look, they're in the free world. You know what I'm saying? They gotta be locked up, caged up. To see, but if they went inside and come back out, still have the same thoughts and the same mindset, there's something wrong with him or them. If you don't see when you got locked up and you come home and you still talk the same ways and act the same way and say you don't give a fuck and stuff like that, check yourself, man. Check yourself. So, for educational purposes, what you see in the prison system, the stopping, the killing, the raping, I'm going to tell you this. Ain't no gang members in there don't want their privileges. They're always preying on the weak one. Okay? First, me personally, I got to thank God. I was safe the entire time. I was with the Muslim brothers. The Muslim brothers show me love, give me love. We show each other love. I'm going to tell you this. You got to always be respectful, man, to others. That's the number one 1 rule. Do not cross nobody's lines. And stay away from them drugs, them alcohol, and the homosexuality, man. And the gambling. Then you'll be okay. So, next time I will speak a little bit on what it's like and how it's like for all these different groups in the Fed, how they run their groups, and how they keep the communication lines open with the captain, with the lieutenant, and with the warden. Because at the end of the day, the one who wants his prison to run smoothly, he don't want no stabbing going on. He don't want no riot going on. He don't want no lockdown. He just want it smooth and get his paychecks, big paychecks, and go home. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, all the prisoners, to be honest with you, we just want to do our time peacefully. The one that want to stop, those are the soldiers. The soldier get you stopped. The lieutenant, he ain't got to do nothing. So you soldier, y'all pawns in prison. That's because y'all already make yourself pawns. So until next time, stay free, stay sucker free, and stay true to yourself. And know this, you the only ones that can change yourself. Peace on a rainy day. Take care, y'all.